So Feixiao is coming out later today, of course after maintenance. That'll be kind of a pain, just not being able to play for 5 hours. But I would like to talk about her, just go over everything she could do, and go over if you need Robin, which is a pretty good teammate for her, and if you should vertically invest, which is basically either go for a light cone or go for Eidolons. So let's just go over with the basic kit. Basic attack, just basic attack. The skill does wind damage up to 200% of Feixiao's attack to an enemy and immediately launches one instance of Talent's follow-up attack against the target. This is good because, a bit of a spoiler, but her ultimate is charged by the amount of attacks performed, so this gives it a instant charge. Deals wind damage to a single target up to 700% of Feixiao's attack during the time, can ignore weakness type to reduce enemy's toughness. This is basically the same as Acheron and what she can do. When the target is not weakness broken, Feixiao's weakness break efficiency is increased by 100%. That just means you're able to weakness break the enemies faster. During this attack, the first 6 attacks of Bolt, Thunder, Blitz, or War Axe Skyward on the attack for a total of 6 times. At the end, deals wind damage of 260% of Feixiao's attack to the target. Alright, that's basically just normally how it works. Just attack the enemy 6 times, either between Bolt, Thunder, Blitz, or War Axe Skyward. The difference between the two is that Blitz will deal 60% more damage of Feixiao's attack if the enemy is weakness broken. The damage multiplier is increased by 30, and then War Axe would do it if they are not weakness broken. So if they're not weakness broken, use Axe. If they are, use Blitz. Can activate ultimate when Flying Aureus reaches 6 points. Accumulating up to 12 points, Feixiao stacks 1 point of Flying Aureus for every 2 attacks by an ally target. Feixiao's ultimate attack does not count towards this number. Okay, so that's just basically how it stacks, you know. It doesn't stack like a normal ultimate, if you've seen gameplay. It stacks like, kind of like Acheron's, but not really, because hers debuffs, Feixiao's is with attacks. After Feixiao's teammate attacks an enemy target, Feixiao immediately launches a follow-up attack against the primary target, dealing wind damage up to 110% of Feixiao's attack. If there is no primary target available, Feixiao's attack attacks a single random enemy instead. This target can trigger once per turn, and the trigger count resets at the start of Feixiao's turn. When using an attack, damage increases dealt by this unit is by 60% lasting for 2 turns. So it's basically just being able to increase, if your ally attacks, she could attack as well. That means stacking up this ultimate faster, which is always good. So yeah, this is the technique, you know, if you're on the overall, press E or whatever you need to activate it. Basically, she enters into this onrush state, which lasts for 20 seconds. While this, it pulls enemies in a certain range and increases the unit's movement speed by 50%. And entering battle will gain you an extra point of Flying Aureus, which is nice. While this onrush is actively attacking the start of enemy pool, increasing wind damage equal to 200% of Feixiao. It's guaranteed crit, and there's one more point. So yeah, basically it's just pulls enemies in. You could attack all of them at once. More enemies sucked in, the more damage you do. Cool. Alright, for major traces, which is basically the 3 little nodes of the trace tree, the A2 will be Heaven's Path. When the battle starts, instantly gains 3 points of Flying Aureus at the start of turn if no follow-up attack launched via talent in the previous turn. Then this counts as 1 point the number of attacks required to gain Flying Aureus, which is basically if you get mega unlucky and let's say your whole team gets stunned or whatever, you still get at least a point to stack up to your ultimate. Okay, now for A4, which is called Form Shift. When using ultimate to deal damage to the target, it is considered as a follow-up attack. Follow-up attacks crit damage increases by 36%. It's important for it to be considered follow-up because there's a lot of supports which directly buff up follow-up attacks, so you could use them. I'll show some on screen, some examples. I think Topaz is one of them, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if it's for herself or for the whole team. Alright, and then for our final A6, which is called Bolt Crash. When using skill, attack increases attack by 48% and lasting for 3 turns. That's pretty good. Alright, I will get to her Eidolons later on, but for her traces, you get an extra 28%, 12 crit rate, and 12.5% defense. Does her stats at 80, no relics and all that. And these are all the materials you need. These are just from basic enemy drops. This is from a new enemy, I think. Yeah, I think so. Okay, since I don't have access to the creator experience server, I have to be using someone else's gameplay. This is from Moon, and I will be using her to showcase off how good Feixiao could be without Robin. Now, the reason why specifically Robin is because she's the same patch, same banner cycle. So a lot of people are wondering to go to Robin or Feixiao first. I think going for Robin first is the better play because she just buffs a lot more people, and you could use her in a lot more teams. So yeah, like, and this is like a mainly free-to-play team aside from Adventurine poking out like a sore thumb, but he's one of the best sustains in the game. So if you don't have him, you should probably pull for him. Of course, he's not available yet, but if you do have him, you should plop him on the team. His attacks are follow-up, so you're able to gain that ult faster. And she's also using Mose, which isn't the same banner, so it might be a lot easier to get than just your typical whoever. I would like to bring up some of the stats that these characters have, mainly Feixiao's and March's, because they're the 2 primary damage dealers of the team. Feixiao, she has an 85% crit rate with 195% crit damage. And she has the Running from Dread Destiny and the Wind Scourging set. Yeah, wait, let me go back. You can see her ult damage, which is roughly 200k without Robin and all that. And she does have her signature light cone active on her, which is, let me just drag this over. Alright. Yeah, and her signature light cone, what it does, it increases crit rate by 15%, and when the wearer launches follow-up attack, gains 1 stack of Lumflex, and has a max of 2 stacks. Each stack of it will enable the ultimate damage to ignore the wearer to ignore 27% of the target's defense when the wearer turn ends. Removes 1 stack of Lumflex. Basically, is able to ignore 54% defense from the enemy, which is pretty good. You know, just more damage and all that. So here's another instance of the ult, which is 277. Pretty nice damage, I can't lie. Now for March, she just did 42k there. Now for March, she has a crit rate of 78% and a crit damage of 200%. Now she also is running, she is E6, just to mention that, and she is running the Cruising in the Stellar Sea as her light cone. Now of course you could always, it will be better if you have the premium option, but this is just, you know, low budget. You only basically need a summon on Topaz. You only have to summon on Faye's banner, which has Mose already pre-installed in there. So I want to skip kind of to the end of the thing. She was able to clear it in like 2 cycles, I think. I'm not too sure. How many cycles? 29. So she was able to clear the whole thing with just 1 cycle with this free-to-play team, which is pretty nice. Of course, if you really want Feixiao compared to Robin, which you barely care, if you don't care about her, then fine, just go for Feixiao, and then yeah, just pray you get good multiple copies of Mose if you're fishing for her, for Feixiao. And also, if you have enough for both, you should go ahead and get both. Ain't stopping you there. They're a pretty good combo. One of the best teams. But the follow-up team is one of the best teams in the game. So if you just consider getting that, pretty damn nice. So yeah, for the next video I want to look into is EOD Gamer's video on Feixiao, which he compares E0 all the way to E6, which of course, if you're already at E6, you probably have a few E6s, because it costs a crap ton to E6 character. Well, this is just mainly to answer anyone's questions on if you should get the light cone first or more Eidolons first. Of course, before you get Eidolons, you should get Robin on the team. Now, one thing I do want to preface in the video is that EOD Gamer, as you see in this team, is just omega buffing Feixiao into High Oblivion. So she's going to do a lot of damage. As you see in the previous video, Moon's Feixiao was doing roughly 200k on her ultimate, and we could see EOD's already surpassing all the damage, and there's still like 3 more hits, doing up to 500k. That's just with the free-to-play 5-star Hunt Icon cruising at status C, which grants all these buffs. Now this is what you typically use if you want to use a free-to-play option, or if you want to use the light cone. Let's just try to find it. Yeah, this is just him basically for a minute straight just buffing. Let's just skip to where the numbers start. Let's just speed up as well. 600k. So you get a ton of increase. You get a 90k increase of damage. Of course, this is mega buffed and all that. I think he does show kind of like all the buffs that he gets. Not here, but he does pop open just the menu before he pops it. Oh, to all. Yep, there. This is his E1 showcase, showing off the E1. Don't mind what it says on screen right here. You kind of. Okay, let's go back. So yeah, you can see just all the buffs that she has. Just crap ton of damage, crap ton of defense ignore, extra crit damage. One thing I do want to mention, he has a 92% crit rate and a 118% crit damage. The reason his crit damage is kind of low in comparison, let me just pause it, because of all the buffs that he gets, he has effectively now a 170, sorry, 170% crit damage, going up by like 60% crit damage. Now, obviously if you just look at the numbers, S1, so getting her signature is a lot better, but one thing I do like to mention, actually, nah, I was about to say that her E2 is really good because you're able to just basically double the amount of instances you're able to pop her ult, because instead of 1 stack for every follow-up, she gains, instead of gaining half a stack per follow-up attack, she gains 1 whole stack, which means effectively doubling the charge rate of the ultimate. So if you want to go for that, more power to you, but remember, it will cost you a crap ton of wishes, crap ton of money, so you should only do it if you really love the character. Now what am I gonna do? I don't main follow-up. I have 0 follow-up characters built up, so I kind of do have to skip Feixiao for now. And she is a damage dealer for the follow-up team, so she is the most replaceable character in the team, which I don't want to see her replace. She's a pretty cool character. But yeah, if you're gonna summon for her later today, best of luck. If you're trying to get Robin, which I really hope you do get, because she just makes Feixiao do so much more damage. Hope you get her as well. But That's it for the rest of the video. Have a good day, good night, or whatever time you have.